So good morning. We are up. The sky's not exactly promising, but it's also not grey and thick with cloud. So there could be some potential for a bit of colour. The problem is where we can get to get a bit of colour. If you didn't watch yesterday's video or last week's video, you see I got a sunset sort of image and I made the most of the situation I was in. And today's going to be the same. I'm going to make the most of the situation I've got this morning. I put my wellies on. I didn't think about my wellies this morning, but there was a guy that turned up in the car park last night who's following me down this little track. I hope he's not a stalker or an axe murderer. But he pulled in the car park last night, so I wasn't alone, which was a bit scary because I didn't know who it was that was in the car park behind me. But this morning I woke up and he was already up, and I'm assuming, I thought he might have been a photographer. Blow me, he is. So we're out doing a bit of a shoot. Have you got a name? Colin, it's actually Colin. Yeah, see, I've met someone. It's really nice to actually have someone here to talk to, because when you're out on your own, especially up in Scotland, there ain't many people around. So yeah, it's pretty good. So let's make the most of what we got this morning, see what we can do, and see if we can get something that's half decent. So this morning I've managed to get over onto the little island so we can actually get a better shot of the castle. You see where I stood right underneath it as well now. Got my wellies on, and the water level's dropped a few inches, so that's quite nice. So we're actually on the island next to this beast of a castle, and you actually get to touch it. So I want to see if I can get a half decent shot. Oh, and this dungeon, apparently these dungeons down here, and I'll show you them when they're a bit daylight, someone very quite famous was in them, I think, from what I remember. There was a video I watched all about the information and the history on it, and if I can find the link, I'll put the link on for you. But it definitely gives you a different perspective of the castle by coming this side of it, and we can also shoot into the light, so it definitely works. And also looking behind me, it's got a little bit more texture to it, but you lose the shape a little bit as well, which is a shame. So yeah, let's make the most of what we can, try and get the mountains in, try and get a little bit of texture in the sky. And it's not going to be that easy to get too low, but I see a little platform I could probably get myself onto, which will give me a slightly lower perspective, so the castle's looking taller. Yeah, I might start here. I might see and wait for the light, and then maybe move up a little bit higher. I'm even thinking that's actually probably a better option. Looking at it, the option's probably slightly taller and making the mountains appear from behind, I think. So let's get that done. Right, so we've been stood here now for half an hour or so, chatting, putting the world to rights, doing my normal thing, slagging people off. No, I'm not. There's no light. Colin's got he had his photo pills out, and the light is directly behind you in the thick of the cloud, and it is thick cloud there. If the light was over a little bit more to the right, we might have had a bit of a light show going, but there's definitely nothing going on. There was a little bit of a hue going on behind me, but that didn't last for more than a few seconds, and there's nothing there to shoot, because that's the direction I was shooting last night. I've got a composition set up at the moment with a bit of a leading line from sort of left to right. Like I say, always leading lines from the bottom corner. Shot in one of the camera club things is get them in the, if you've got a leading line, if you can pick it up from the corner, it works well. So that's what I've tried to do. Got a bit of sky in it, but it's flat, it's grey, it's not too good. Maybe a black and white conversion, I don't know. But if all else fails, I've got a waterfall over there, and we've got a few other locations to visit today. So I'll slap a couple of images up that I've created or come up with here. I'm just going to get some ideas, because if I'm ever back here again, then I'll get an idea of where to shoot from. And then we'll move on, and I'll see you somewhere else a little bit later on, because it's definitely not worth hanging around here, I don't think. So I've managed to switch it back on. I actually found a composition that works way better than the one I had before. I'm just playing with the 6 stop at the moment to give me an idea, and I'm using Maven filters. You can see they're color coded, so the 6 stops are pink, and I've also got a polarizer on as well, which is blue. So a bit of a plug for Maven filters, my new love for filters. Yeah, this is a really much better, much more by composition. You've got a leading line coming from the right hand side, leading all the way around to the castle. The castle's got light on it, the light up behind me, and then there was a little bit of pink, just a tiny little bit of pink right over in the distance in the far corner above the mountains. And I've got a rock down here on the left hand side, just keeping me some interest down in this left hand side as well. I'm just going to take a focus stack on that rock because there's quite a lot of distance between the rock and the castle. This castle is a much nicer looking castle from this side as well. It's the other side really doesn't do it any favours whatsoever, to be honest. If you're going to shoot it from this side. It is definitely a prettier looking castle from this side with its square turret. Yeah, really nice. So put my polarizer back on, take the 6-stop off now, and I like to take that water glare down. I like to make that water look darker because I think it looks a lot better. This is a much nicer shot, really. Just tell me what you think, the two differences between the two, between the one I took before and this. This is definitely quite a good shot. All the elements are there. I knew I could do it if I looked. Might be a good idea to mention our little sponsor for today. Our sponsor for today is Vanlife. Vanlife are a photography glove manufacturers. They make gloves for photographers. These are the Markov's version 3. They've got a nice merino wool cuff, merino wool inside, like a finsulate inside. They're nice and warm, keeping your hands nice and toasty. You've got little zip pockets in the back where you can keep your little hand warmers and things. There's also a key in the back for doing up your like a screwdriver key for doing up your tripod plates, and the fingers come out so that you can operate your camera. There's magnets on the back to keep them pinned back, and then you can put your fingers inside and keep them all nice and warm and toasty. So yeah, thanks to Vanlife for sending us the gloves. Today's sponsor, Vanlife. Take a look. I'll put a link down in the description for you. So thank you, and onward. So I am still here. And if you remember in last week's video, or last time's video, I mentioned this little setup. I think fine, this is it. This little round building here with the stones all around it. This used to be this little hut. I'll have a look at the notice board when I go back just to remind myself what it was. But yeah, this is definitely a really ancient little building where people were. So. And I'm standing on the side of it. That's really quite impressive. That is, that people were living right where I'm standing now. We've got a little bit of colour hitting the tops of the mountains as the sun's coming up behind me. So there is a little bit of colour there on the mountains. I can't believe I've got blue skies again. I just really don't plan on having blue skies when I come to Scotland, but you know, make the most of the weather you get, I suppose. It's dry anyway. So I'm making my way back now, back over the other side. I just had the longer lens on, taking a few snapshots of the back that direction with the light on them hills, because it looks pretty awesome. And now we're just going to walk back round the castle, which we're coming up on now. As you can see, we're coming up on the castle. I don't know if it's worth taking a wide shot while I'm here. I could just take a wide one, couldn't I? Just while I've got the camera in my hand. And carrying it, I could take something a little bit wide just to get a shot of it, maybe up close and personal and all that, and then we'll make our way back over the other side and move on, I think, unless something happens here, unless something pretty dramatic happens. Let's just get a quick close-up shot. Nothing in it except for the castle. And you can see through the windows. Quick bracketed shot. It's a keepsake image more than anything. That's all it is, just to remind me that I'm here and I've got one. So you don't always have to be award-winning shots. Just take some to remember. Get some close-up and like the detail and things on it and things like that. So. There's some beautiful clouds wrapping over the top of the mountains over today, really nice. So I've got to make my way back across this little bit of water. Got my wellies on, which is a good job. I probably could have got across last night, but it looked a little bit daunting in the dark, so I didn't want to take a risk. So I've stopped beside the road at the moment. I've just literally left the car park from Adverick Castle, and I'm just heading up the road, and I come past this scene which just made me stop and had to come and get a shot. It's going to be a longer lens shot, so we're going to have to change this and put something with a bit more length on, which is going to be my 70 to 300, because I need to home in on what I'm looking at in front of me. And I'm still on Loch Assynt. Like I say, you can probably see the van over my shoulder, but I just need to get a shot of this on the way past because I just like it. And it's going to be one of them days again today, I think, just stopping randomly and taking photographs. I can't really promise you much else other than that. So I'm going to drop my f-stop all the way down to about, where are we on, f5. That's as low as I can go on this. I'm focused on my little subject in front of me, and I'm just eliminating the sky, and I'm going to lower my exposure a little bit just so that I can just see the little island that I'm trying to shoot. And I think that will probably do. I'm just going to put a little bit more height on it because I'm just making sure I don't clip off the trees, and take a second shot, and I think that's pretty cool. And there's another one just here which also deserves the same. A single island lone tree. And it's not quite a lone tree, but I think it'll work. Oh, we are back on the road this morning after a shoot, and I've literally just been out of the van and took a couple of photographs, and now I'm going to put my gloves on to warm my hands up again because it's really cold out this morning. Now I'm heading up country still at the moment before I turn around and head back down, and I'm heading down towards the Torridon area and Lake Clare this morning. Well, this afternoon, but at the moment I just need to make a little bit of headway, and I'm heading up because there's a waterfall that I'd like to go and have a look at if I can, but I couldn't help but stop and take a picture of the trees. They're absolutely stunning. I just don't know whether to stop and get shots of them because I've literally pulled in the next car park because they're so good. I don't want to miss them, but on the other hand, I'm not going to get anywhere if I don't crack on and, you know, move on a bit. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, I just don't know. I'm really I'm torn with what to do and how to do it. I mean, there's a beautiful scene in front of me again there now, and I've got some lone trees down the bottom here which are just amazing. So it's going to be another one of those days. I'm going to do the best I can to get a couple of shots maybe as I go along and keep moving. But oh god, these things are brilliant. My hands are nice and warm already. Yeah, let's get a couple of shots of these trees and I'll put them on. I'm not going to take you with me, I'm going to leave you in the van. So it looks like I've taken a wrong turn. I'm back in the van. I didn't really take much of them trees. I just took a couple of snapshots on the big lens. I just haven't got the time to hang around. Look, there's another one over there. This is an area where it's so far to come, but you need loads of time when you get here. I mean, I kept stopping all the way yesterday. Oh my god, look at them trees. I kept stopping all the way yesterday. I'm gonna have to stop here. If I don't do the waterfall, I don't do the waterfall. These are stunning. These are amazing. I'll stuff the waterfall. I'm gonna concentrate on this. I'm gonna get a photograph here. Wow, these are beautiful, and there's a parking bay right next to them, so I'm not even gonna hesitate to get out and get the big camera out and get a shot because these are amazing. I'm not going to get far, am I? And then I'm going to have to maybe scrap off that waterfall and come back another day and spend another week, just drive straight up here, time up here, because I'm not going to get anything done, keep stopping and starting. So we'll see what happens, see where I get to. I've got to head south tonight. I've got to head south. same old situation I've got myself in. I've got a really nice shot in front of me, but it doesn't look good on the camera. It just, oh, look at these trees. This is absolutely a photographer, apart from what a crappy blue sky, and I can't get in a situation. Look at that tree through there on the island. That one over there, that is absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. But I can't walk on this in front of me here because this is part of the lock. I'm going to try and get across this bit and see if I can just get some separation on that, because I need to try. But it's a nice photograph, but it's just not perfect, is it? It's just not right. I need some cloud in the sky, and that tree over there on its own is just got to be the best tree on a little island I've ever seen. It looks like a bonsai tree. My microphone's running out of power as well, which isn't helping me at all. I think I've got myself in a situation that I might be able to make the most of what I've got in front of me. So I'm going to crop this. This is going to be a long crop because I don't want any sky in it. But I've made the trees, I've separated all the trees. I've got the island, I've got polarizer on. It's not making a lot of difference, but the polarizer is on. I'm going to take a shot, a wide shot, and I've just noticed the tree is just touching the edge of the frame. Can't be having that. It's going to go a little bit wider. Doesn't matter if I go wider, because this is going to be a crop to probably a 2x1, quite a long panoramic looking image. Then I'm going to put the 10 stop on using my Maven filters, so I know I've got the blue one on the front. If you look on the front of my, let's just put me around, I've got a blue one on the front there, and now I'm going to put a gold one on, and I know that's my 10 stop, and that's giving me 15 seconds. So I'm going to try that 15 seconds to make the water nice and smooth, see if that helps, and then I'm going to point it just at the island. Now there are a couple of twiggy trees in front of it. I will try and get round a bit further, and if I can I'll nail it, but if not, I'm going to be happy with the one I'm going to get in front of this. So I'll get the shot. My microphone I think has just stopped, so I'm going to get the shot, and then I'll come back to you once I've charged everything up. So heading back down the way, and just got talking to a guy, Kevin or Ken. Hopefully if you see this, do drop me a bit of a comment and say hello. And he's very good friends with I Wanders up here in Scotland, who's a very good vlogger and photographer. So yeah, he goes out with some of the good guys up here. So it's nice chatting to someone again as well. My microphone's on charge at the moment in the van. It's really strange. I can charge my Osmo, I can charge my camera, I can run my camera off my little battery packs, but my little battery packs will not charge this tiny little microphone. How crazy is that? So I have turned around, I'm heading back down. I still want to go and see this waterfall, but it's already 12 o'clock, so time is just not of the essence today. Now if I do end up not travelling as far tonight, then I'm going to have to get up in the morning and make way tomorrow morning. So I head down towards Loch Clare, Torridon, down that way, because that's my plan. And then from there I'm going to head down towards Fort William and Isle of, I was going to say Isle of Skye, not at all, but Fort William, Glencoe area, so I can make my way down the country. I've got to get down low enough so I can travel home Saturday. That's the plan. Unfortunately it's blue skies today, which really isn't doing me any favours whatsoever. I was expecting to get a little bit of weather, some atmosphere, something really interesting and nice, but I've got pure blue sky, which for me is just so drastic. So I'm here, I'm at the Weeping Widow waterfall, I think it's called. I've just spoke to a couple that are in a van just now. They just said it's only a couple of 100 meters walk, but it's not an easy path. There's actually no path. It's muddy and uneven and rocky. So I'm going to go for a walk, take my walking stick so I don't fall over, put my tripod on my back so I'm nice and level, and let's go and see if we can have a look at this big Weeping Widow waterfall. It better be worth it. Look at that for a stack. That's pretty impressive. Wouldn't want that coming down on my head as I'm walking past, would we? So yeah, this is the path we're walking on. No worse than anything else I've been on before by the looks of it. A few rocks and stuff to step over. You probably wouldn't want to come down here in high flood season because this would be underwater. So there's not a definite path. So you do have to sort of make your way through these rocks. But I'm hoping it's going to be worth it when we get here. Oh, let's just keep going and have a look. So the path was a lot worse than I thought it was. Very muddy and not a path at all. And wow. Whoa. Look at this. Was it worth it? Probably. Wow, look at that. That's a big waterfall. Let's see how far I can safely get close to that. But, oh crikey, yeah, there's not much of a path, in all fairness. I'm just gritting my teeth and just keeping going, to be honest. Trying to use my stick and pick my place. What a shame I've got no sky to put in it. What an absolute shame, but yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna get a shot from here, I think. Or should I get a bit closer first and then work my way back? Because this looks pretty good, so let's get a photograph of this and see if I can get a little bit closer and have a real listen to see what it's doing. Whew. So I've decided that it was good and I walked up a little bit closer, but because of the sky and being absolutely blue sky, I don't think it's worth doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shot though, just to have a look at, see if I can do something with Luminar Neo. So maybe I can add a sky. What about that then? That would really upset a lot of people, wouldn't it? So let's just get a handheld shot, something like this. And maybe a bit faster. I'm going to up the ISO even more to 800. And I'm going to go one with lots of sky in it, really bracket the shot, and then I'm going to see if I can do something in Neo to add some life to it, because it's just rubbish the way it is at the moment. Let's see what we can do with that. That's one for another video. Right, lock it down, pack it away, and let's get out of this gorge in safety. Tripods in, straps down, battery chargers on the floor. That would have been a disaster, wouldn't it? Right, bag on my back and let's go. Oh. Back to the van and head south. And I may even stop at Ullapool for a shower. Come on, let's go. Right, let's let this adventure continue. We're heading back up over the hill now, back past Loch Ascent, and we are definitely heading downwind. My lips are really dry as well. I need to find some lip seal. There's lots of clouds forming over that direction. Whoop! Concentrate on the road. Look where you're going. Crikey, there's a hairpin. Dearie me, nearly drove off the edge of the cliff. Right, I've got my sat-nav on. I've got sat-nav and TomTom going. Google says 88 miles, I think it was. So that's a fair old journey, isn't it? The first stop I'm just going to weigh up the situation a little bit. I'm going to go and pull up. I want to go to the Bones Caves. It's not photographic, and I don't know whether I'm going to be wasting my time if I do go there. I want to go just because I've said I'm going to go in the vlog, and it's something I want to do. But maybe I have to wait and do that when I come up again and bring someone else up, and, you know, do it as an adventure, because I just don't know whether I've got the time left to be able to do all these things. It is only Tuesday, but that means Tuesday down to Torridon, spend the day down there tomorrow, Wednesday down a bit further, Thursday Loch Lomond. So I don't know, maybe I could spend a bit more time up here, drive down to Ullapool or something like that tonight, and then a bit further down tomorrow. So we will see. I'm not getting the best photography, I must admit, but I'm having an adventure, and I think that's what it's about, and you've got to enjoy yourself sometimes, and I am having a little bit of fun with myself. So let's plod on, and I'll weigh up the situation in 11 miles and tell you what I think. I've made a bit of an executive decision. I want to go and see these caves. I'm going to take you to see them. They're about a 2 kilometre walk from where I'm parked. So I'm going to put my hiking boots on. I'm going to get my poles out. I'm going to take my lightweight tripod, because I don't think I need anything fancy. And yeah, I'm just going to go for a walk, I think. That means I won't be going down so far this evening. We won't make it to Loch Clare or Torridon area. So, with it being Tuesday, I'm going to stop somewhere down towards Ullapool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my sat nav running, and I'm just going to keep driving down. So I'm going to go and do this. This is going to take me a few hours to do. It's 1:45 now. So I'm hoping I've got enough light to get there and back, to be honest, and then I'm just going to drive down a little bit, find any decent lay-by to park in, and just do that. Park up overnight and then head off again in the morning. So I'm out in the van and I'm just having a quick look at the notice board, and I've got my bag on my back, I've got my gear, I've dressed lightweight, I've just dressed in my walking stuff, and there's the map. So I've got to make my way up from here all the way up around here and back before it gets too dark. So that's my plan. Let's get walking. 2k, I don't know how long that takes to do. I just check the time now and we'll see. So I should be walking at more than 2 miles an hour. So if I can do 2 miles in 1 hour, 2 hours means it shouldn't be dark by the time I get back. That's the principle. So let's get moving. There's a person coming down now, so I'm going to ask them how far it is, how long it's taken, and then I'll gauge it from that. Oh, I don't want to be stuck up here in the dark. So I had planned doing this in the morning and not in the afternoon, so I might be a little bit crazy, and I've got a little bit of jitters about me. You know, I'm not thinking this is going to be a doddle. I'm trying to keep moving, get a good pace going so I can get there and back. The guy reckons it's going to take me about 3/4 of an hour, so I'm not sure how far into the caves I'm going to make it. These caves are known for the best collection, or biggest collection, but definitely the best collection of animal bones ever found in the caves. And there's bones from minks, there's bones from wolves, foxes, and even bear and polar bear. And yeah, that's insane that they found polar bear bones in this caves. They're not going to be there obviously, but this is why I wanted to go, because it's really quite an interesting place. So even if I just get to see them and get a photograph of the cave entrances, even from a distance, that'll be a score. But I'm going to stop talking, concentrate on the path, because as you notice I just slipped because I wasn't looking where I was putting my feet. I was thinking about you. And the path so far looks okay, but I'm hoping there's also a secret treat up here that I'd like to show you. So I'm already at one of the little secret water spots that I wanted to show you, and I want you to imagine this. Look at the pool of this water here, this massive pool of water. Look how much water's rushing down the river. Look at it just here. Okay, it's gushing out, yeah? And this is where it's coming from, this little tiny trickle that's not even a trickle. So basically, this is an underwater spring. This water's coming from down here and actually coming out the ground and going off. So this is one of the little things I wanted to show you, but I'm pretty sure there's another one a bit further up as well. But that is definitely an underwater spring with a lot of water pumping out of this area, and you can see the ripples there and there where it's actually coming out from underneath. Oh, keeping a good pace. I'm already in the shadows of the sunlight. I'm in the valley, and I'm about to, I think I've got to cross this riverbed. So this is a dried up river. Well, I bet it's not dried up when you get heavy rain, but this was obviously once upon a time a riverbed to my right, and it looks like the path goes across onto, oh no, we're going to keep going up because there is a track that goes across the riverbed. So I wonder whether, yeah, I do. This is where we turn up and go up to the caves. I can come back the other way. I just remember reading the map and there was a bit of a loop at the end. So we're now going to make our way down onto the riverbed and across the riverbed. And just bear in mind, going back all the years when there was polar bear and minks and stuff like that, and the hunters would capture their prey or whatever and keep them in those caves or eat them in them caves, this would be a flowing river. And I know my camera work is drastic at the moment, but I've got my two hands free and I've got my camera propped in my bag just so I can take you with me. But I'm now going to have to head uphill and around, and I don't know whether I'm going to come back this way or the other way, but I've just crossed that riverbed, which is just insane. And I'm going up there. That's, I'm pretty sure where my stick is, that's where we've got to get to. So we're doing okay for time. But now it starts to go uphill, so that's going to slow me down a bit. So I don't think I'm far now. I've just passed a sign for beware of falling rocks. Insane signs they are. A bit late if you've seen one. Probably be on your head. I don't think I'm far though. If your glasses are fogging up, I'll put my hat back on my head because I was feeling a bit cold. But I'm going to have to clean my glasses in a minute so I get a good look at what we come to see. And now, don't get me wrong, I am not a brave person. I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone at the moment because I don't like dark places really, and caves are scary. But, oh, there's a black crow, typical. Shush, I don't like crows either, they make a horrible noise. Yeah, I can scare myself quite easily with my imagination, and if it wasn't for you guys stirring me on now, I wouldn't be up here. Oh, and I can see an entrance. I think there's 4 caves. Listen, crow or rook or whatever you are, that sound is horrendous. You can just see up here, there's one of them at the top of this. So I'll catch my breath. And that's the valley I've just come from as well, down there. All that way, right down there. The sun's going to go down over that bit, so we're not going to have a lot of light left in this valley at all. come on, let's get up there. Let's see at least one of them, mate. Oh my God, these are dark. There's water dripping down here as well. Let's start with this one. These are dark and these are big. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello. Hello. Is there anybody in? Right, I need to put a torch on my head before I go any further. So that actually brings me nicely to the sponsor of this video, Olight, and I'm wearing the Achaidh 2 Pro. This is a 1500 lumen torch. Turn it on, you've got a good light. You wave your hand in front of it, it goes up, wave your hand down, it goes down. Also, if you double press, you get a big floodlight, and if you double press again, you get a red light, which is great for working with cameras at night. Double press again, you go back onto your normal torch, and like I say, you can turn the brightness up and down by waving your hand. Really, really nice. 1500 lumens, the Achaidh 2 S Pro. Wow, let's get going. Number one, done. Whew. Not much to photograph, to be honest. I think the best picture is going to be out there with the drone. Let's have a look in the others. So I've just taken a couple of pictures on the little mini tripod. It's just big enough to hold the Fuji. I've got myself a selfie, and that's about as good as I'm going to get, in all fairness. The caves, really, there's not much you can do with them. They're really hard to get what I would say a good photograph, but let's say we managed to get a photograph out of it, so I don't mind. I'll just take one more, just a close-up one of the cave entrance. Yeah, mountains in the distance. It's time to make my way down. I'm going to go back down the way I came because I don't want to go further up to come back, so let's just get back down before it gets too dark. But I'm glad I've been. I'm glad I've been. I'm back down. Just going through the gate now. So I've made it back down before dark, but I think sunset's definitely in. It's 3:36, so sunset's in about 10 minutes, I think. Really early this time of year up here. So I'm just gonna quickly throw the slot in the car and get myself moving and try and find myself somewhere to park up for tonight, a little bit further down the road, and then get me tea. And tea tonight is mashed potato and beans. I know it's not exciting, but for me, that's very exciting. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please give us that thumbs up. If you enjoyed this, let me know if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, and it was just a rush and a mess, then so be it. Thanks to Olight and the Achaidh 2 Pro. Fantastic little light. Like I say, 1,500 lumens, loads of brightness in this. Yeah, till next time, ciao for now. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, apart from more driving, more adventures, more photographs. You know me, it doesn't have to be a winner, it's just got to be somewhere I can take a picture. And I enjoyed those caves, I hope you did. Let me know down there if you did enjoy it. Battery's going to go flat. See you soon. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.